Okay, we're going into Thursday. We just came back from $1,000 loss. Now we're back up to where we were, or near where we were. We're not exactly back up at the exact dollar amount, but now we're closer to passing the TopStep Combine. All we need is $300. $300, that'll clear us, that'll make us go through, and we should be good to go and start the next part of this journey. So here we go, Thursday. Let's see what we did. Let's see how it went. This could make it or break it. Let's do it. So here we go. Price starts to go in this choppy area, right? So we wait for price to form, giving us some signals, right? That's what we're waiting for. Although price did not do this right away, but it consolidated. There was a move to the upside. There was a gap up, right? There was a gap up, and now I'm looking for consolidation and continuation on the larger time frames. I'm not just using these small time frames to guess or to try to understand the bias. I'm using the 1 hour, the weekly, and the daily to understand where price is going and where areas of interest could potentially be for bigger buyers or sellers, right? So price continued to chop here for just a moment. You did see, you'll see shortly, there's some aggressive buyers that come in immediately, and as price comes down, aggressive buyers come in again. You see some aggressive sellers. So there's no quite direction yet, but now we're getting into the moment where you start to see some direction take place here. And so we're going to go into my first trade, meaning that I didn't take more than one. Unfortunately, things did not pan out 100% like I wanted them to on the first trade, but that doesn't mean it's over. So let's take a look. We'll fast forward just a bit if we pass it. So let's go back just a second. So right here, getting in on this buy here. Getting in on this buy, seeing what happens. Why did I get into this buy? I did see a large buyer come in here, 643, 644. My stop, however, was not at the best location it could have been. Ideally here, I probably should have waited a little bit more for it to retrace like it's doing now. That would have put my stop a little bit better in placement for a different area. It wouldn't have hit this if I would have done so, right? You have this high volume node right there. You have a fair value gap. You have a couple of things there that it should be holding. So it should have been below that, right? You see an aggressive push up, consolidation, aggressive push up, consolidation, retracement, push up. That's what we were looking for. Here, price came down, took me out there. So now I'm waiting to see what price does. Immediately, price rockets up. Price just continues to go up really aggressively. I get back in right on time. As you can see, my entry right there is a good entry because that's where the buyers were. If it holds above this cluster that I see, then it's a good continuation trade. Good trend continuation trade. If it holds here, I'm only going for about 700. All I need, I don't need anything more than the $300 extra to pass this combine. I start to push up a little more aggressively, faster. So I start to put my take profit up higher. Now I'm covering at 500 because that will take me to break even. Price continues to move up higher. I go there, taking me out right there, $65 in profit, recovered the first loss that I took. Now I'm waiting to see what happens next here. Because price spiked so fast, that freaked me out, and that allowed me to get into the trade a little bit quicker because I did already see that cluster though. So the reason I got in, big cluster of buyers came in and continued to move price. Here I was debating whether to get in again. I did see buyers step in one more time. So I got in very cautiously with one contract. As I see price move in my favor here, I start to add because I have a couple of confluences. EMAs look like they're going straight up. I do have that cluster defending my price right there, right below where I have my stop loss. Going in with 2 here. I'm going to start to add again as price goes in my favor. If I see anything else like another cluster pop up, then I will add more as it goes up. But I don't want to risk more than $500. I don't want to go above that. As you can see, I start to add one more here. Now I'm going to have to start to reduce my risk because If it comes back against me, then it's not a good trade. It's a lot of risk there. So I want to see where price is going to go. Right now, I'm looking for that $500 mark, being very cautious. Right below those lows, looks like it'll hold me here because there is another aggressive buyer that stepped in. So it should hold that area right there. Let's see what price does at this moment. Looking for $1,000. Now, in this case, large participation. Looking for price continuation for longer trends. So I'm trying to reach for a little bit more. Again, though, I have the setting here to auto liquidate me when it goes to $300. So that way I don't have to worry about trailing my stop and missing that opportunity, right? So as you can see at the top of the screen, right above, you see it says PDPT, right? So that is going to take me out and liquidate me when it gets to $300. And that's $300 in profit, right? Above what I had already risked. So I'm waiting here, I'm waiting patiently, see what price does. See if price wants to continue. This consolidation right here is key, that they're accepting price at these levels. Want to see this break. I don't want to see this retrace on me. If it does, then I would have a loser for the day, right? I'm looking at that EMA very closely to see if it breaks. If it breaks that EMA that's right below price, then it's going to indicate it's going to go further down, potentially a reversion. Let's see what price does. And I'm holding my stop loss steady, not moving it from where it is. This should be a good place to hold. Can this be it right here? Can we pass the combine here? Let's go. Price is still not cooperating. Price is still moving down here. Let's see if it holds. It has to hold for us to continue. Oh, and we got stopped out, right? We got stopped out. Minus $339. Maybe not the best of entries, right? But here we go. One more time. One more trade. Let's see how this works out. Price is holding in an aggressive buyer area, right? It did break that. Luckily, I wasn't at $500, so it wasn't a bigger risk. I was close. Price aggressively pushes up one more time here, very aggressively. And so now I'm starting to gauge where price is. Now, this was a reaction, right, that I did. Price moved up very aggressively, very quickly. I got in at the same area where I got in before, right above that high volume node, right? Now I'm looking for price to hold this low right below there. Now this, normally when it gaps up like that and it goes up this aggressively, there was not a lot of liquidity supporting any of the moves at the top. So it just pushes straight up where there was a big order there. So here goes. Price is going in my direction. Can we recover what we lost to 342? And then can we make some more where we can pass this combine? So right now it's at 300s. Considering going to break even, should I just let it go at the level to recover everything I just lost? I can, and I do consider that as this trade is playing out. So it's 370, 400. Can we get to 700? All we need is for it to go a couple $100 more in my direction, and we pass this. Price has been very aggressive to the top side, so this is a good confirmation for it to continue. Price is going up. I want to put my stop somewhere where price is not going to get me at. Looking, and I put my stop to cover my losses that I had from the previous trade if it comes down. And there you go. Price did not come down. Price did not come back and reject me. So now I'm $336 in the money, past the combine. And now we go into the fun stuff. Now this journey of the TopStep Combine with these 5 micro accounts is done. Completed. Mission accomplished. If you've been following this journey of the TopStep Combine, don't forget to check out the videos of how this started, and you'll see the journey that I have gone through to get to this point, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at the other charts so you can see what I was looking at and how I got in, how I got stopped out. Let's take a look. Okay, so you'll see price starts going up here, right? It gapped up. You see this aggressive buyer coming in, aggressive buying. Price is not moving. It is consolidating. We did wait all this time for it to go. Aggressive buyers at the low here. Mean reversion to the mean. Comes back down, back to the mean, to the VWAP. Aggressive sellers coming in. Price pushes up to the third standard deviation above the VWAP. Comes right back down. And you see this like consolidation of price building. And then you see this big 368. So this is where I got in right here. Let's go ahead and mark it since I haven't marked it for the day today, right? So let's go ahead and mark it. Even though here, let's go ahead and do 200 right about there, 200 ticks. I didn't get in right there. I got in somewhere around, oh, I'm moving the whole thing here. Let's go. I got somewhere around up here where it was right at the top where it took me out, right? So it took me out, which is fine. It was okay. Then I got in again. So first trade, not good, took me out, right? Second trade, let's go ahead and mark it. Got in right around this area here. Again, trying to recover some of that. As you saw, I did trail, right? And then the last trade, as price came down and stopped me out here for that small win that I had. So it started to go back up. You start to see this move up. And so this is where I get in because it got up very aggressively. Looking at this area here, let's take a look. Looking at this area right here for defending. I want to see these buyers defend all of this. It should not go below this 368. And it should be held by these buyers if we're going to continue to the top. You see this aggressively push up really quickly. I got in immediately and I put my stop below here. So as price started moving up, I started to see another aggressive buyer, which only solidified and confirmed that price was going to continue going up higher. This is what I want to see for trend continuations. I want to see buyers continue to be aggressive. I want to see this continue up higher and I trail as price goes in my favor, right? It came up 183, it continues up here, and then it consolidated, pulled back just a bit. It didn't come back all the way down, but again, if we mark this 183, you see it is a level of interest. It is a level where price is going to be defended. Continues to go up. Here we go. This goes up, continues to go up here at this level, and the rest of the day looked like it was a trending day. Let's go ahead and zoom out for just a bit to see how the day ended, because again, I only trade the first portion of the day. So it looks like it trended for the first portion. People sold up here where you see these little red bubbles, and then price started coming back down. People started to buy again here. It went below that 368, and immediately you see another seller here get absorbed, a large seller get absorbed at this level. Price got taken back up, all the way back up here. So here you go, you start to see more aggressive buyers here. This is insane. Right here, 435, price continued to go up, 215, 250, 302. So this is very bullish. Tomorrow is Friday. Going into a very bullish Friday to see what happens. Price ends up moving up further, and you can see price is way up here. Now, looking to reach maybe all-time highs again. There's a couple of levels that I'm looking at as price goes into these levels. I want to see what happens. So you'll see these levels here. People are looking to buy, looking to sell. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. But all I can say is that we passed the TopStep Combine. We're going to go cautiously into the next couple of days, starting tomorrow, Friday, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for the next week. Again, the goal is to take profits out as soon as we can, make some money off of this, and continue the accounts for as long as we can. There's going to be opportunities. There's going to be some losses. So stick around for the next part of this journey as we go in to the next phase of TopStep. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this content, or if you haven't seen the entire journey of me passing this combine, please watch those videos. They're in my channel here. Subscribe, like, and share, and I will see you in the next one.